Okay, ladies and gentlemen, it is 4 o'clock p.m. Central Time here in Tuttle, Oklahoma, and it's time for the Friday Night Football Game Day Show here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Thank you for tuning in on this Friday evening. Luke Young sitting down at Ferguson Roof Systems, 1 Whispering Pines Drive here in Tuttle. We're going to have a great show today, going from 4 to 5, an hour-long show previewing high school football playoffs, next week in college and pro sports, all the news coming out of Oklahoma about the improvements going on at the different stadiums. We're going to talk about all of it right here on this show, so we invite you to stick around for the entire thing. But thanks to Ferguson Roof Systems for hosting the show. Again, 1 Whispering Pines Drive is the address. You can call 405-392-3699 to get a hold of the friendly people here. Award-winning local business right here in Tuttle, Oklahoma. Premium roofing products, they're big supporters, obviously, of Tuttle High School football. They've actually got a table with shirts out here on the side. It's a little bit off camera. You can't see it, unfortunately, but they're there. Huge supporters of the Tuttle Tigers program. So we're happy to be out here doing the game day show. We really are. And I may be here, but Mike Gannon is back at the studio, our board operator tonight. Mike, thank you once again for coming in and doing this. How's your day been?
It's been good, been productive. Got a lot of stuff done. It's that time of year in our business where some people are fine with us not having things ready to go for Thanksgiving until, Monday or Tuesday, and some wanted it done yesterday.
I get
So
it. That's always the
it's,
holiday
it's,
season, right?
I'm on the treadmill and I won't get off until December 1st, basically.
I believe you. I believe you there. And we're not helping that by any means, giving you
No,
more
no,
stuff
no,
to
no,
do.
no, 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 we're not. I got stuff to do for us as well. We got the game tonight, so which is great. But like I said, there's this there's a lot of stuff that suddenly comes down the pipe and everybody realizes. It's kind of like, I think because of the weather, people kept thinking that the Thanksgiving was another week out. We were like 2 weeks out instead of just 1 week out.
Oh, gosh, because it was not getting
'Cause
cold yet.
yeah, because Thanksgiving's next weekend. Thanksgiving's Thursday. We're 6 days out, so
Yeah, it's here.
I think it just jumped up and bit people.
Right. December is a week away. Like, we are
That's
right there. Yeah,
right there.
I get it. For one, have been enjoying the warm weather, but I'm always a fan of the warmer weather as opposed to the cold. I guess I'm not too opposed to green Christmas this year.
Dang, you Red River kids, man, you guys are spoiled.
Well, you mentioned the games we're doing here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. We had basketball yesterday. We're doing football today. Nothing on Saturday. Most of our teams are on the road right now, so we're going to take Saturday off. But, Mike, tonight's game, the Tuttle Tigers and the Grove Ridge Runners meeting up in quarterfinals of Class 4A. The 11-0 Tigers, the 10-1 Ridge Runners. Should be a fun one tonight. Both of these two teams coming off of pretty sizable victories against their round one opponents. Tuttle beat Clinton 51-6. Grove beat Sallisaw 35-14. And some key takeaways from these. Tuttle had over 300 yards passing. Okay, Cruz Campbell lit up the Clinton secondary in that first opening round game. Grove, on the other hand, was a little bit closer, obviously 35-14. That's not quite the level of 51-6, but they held the Black Diamonds to only one offensive touchdown, which was something that stuck out to me. Their defense came to play in the opening round. Now, it's been tough for any team to have sort of an answer for the Tuttle High School offense. How are we expecting this game to go, Mike, for Grove coming into Tuttle here in the quarterfinals?
Okay, once again, what's Grove's record this year?
Grove is a 10-1 team. Tuttle is 11-0.
Okay, this might be Tuttle's first real test this year because they've been just bowling over people like crazy for the last month, 6 weeks.
Now, it is, of course, in Tuttle, Oklahoma, so we do have home field advantage on
Well,
the Tiger side.
that's going to help, but I don't think it's going to be another 69-3 blowout with with a running clock in the second half. I think this one's going to be. I think Tuttle's going to win, but I think it's going to be closer.
No, I'm not expecting a running clock tonight by any means. You got that right. Not in the playoffs, at least. But I would expect this to kind of be right along the trend you're thinking of right there, right along that mindset. I'm still giving this one to Tuttle, just of my quick thoughts here. The Tigers have such a potent offense that even if a team like Grove could come in and theoretically shut down one aspect of the game, they still got to find a way to deal with the others. And that's not even factoring in Tuttle's defense and special teams, which have also made huge impact plays throughout the season. So I'm not saying that this will be a blowout or an easy round by any means, but I do think Tuttle is pretty handily going to take this one tonight and move on to the semifinals, Mike.
Yeah, I'm with you. I think Tuttle's going to win, but like I said, I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Maybe one of those. It'll be one score game, one possession game until maybe the fourth quarter, and then Tuttle will just kind of put them away at the end. Make it 10 point, 12, or two touchdown final. But
There's a chance. I mean, I'm not especially familiar with the Grove Ridge Runners offense this season, so it's not like I've gone and seen them in person here. So what they are bringing to the table in a lot of ways is what this game is going to hinge on, in my opinion. We know what Tuttle's going to bring out there. We know they're going to light up the board. They're going to take those shots downfield, right? They're going to try to put the pressure on early. What is Grove going to bring into this match? It almost kind of feels like back against the wall from opening kickoff. It feels like you've got the disadvantage pretty much immediately. So I'm excited to see how they play. Looking at Grove's stats, their starting quarterback, I believe his name is Gavin Wyatt. He has
okay,
not thrown for much this season. They are very much a run heavy team, I believe. So, again, just another aspect of the game that is we've seen before in this season. Tuttle's been very well at defending the run. They have not maybe given up one or two big run plays across the entire season. They match up well in the line, in the secondary. Tuttle has pretty much consistently had size on their advantage. And Mike, a lot of that comes from their linebacking core, which
yeah,
has just been ridiculous this year. So fun to
uh,
watch.
yeah. We've done one Tuttle game here on the Sports and Talk side, and I mean they their linebacking core was just unreal. And of course, you've been over on the Sports and Spirit side. And anytime you hear the game on the Sports and Spirit on the rebroadcast, it's like my goodness, those linebackers are flying around.
They are really, really good. And we're going to hear their names called out a lot tonight. Uh, let's see, Brody Fisher, Sean Rounsville Jr., of course. But we've seen guys like Jet McCoy get in there. Bear Vargas gets in there. Even Major Vanderberg will get in there. And all of these different names are so good at reading offenses, plugging holes, and making tackles behind the line of scrimmage. That's what stood out to me is they get downhill in a hurry and stop opposing offenses before they have really gained anything on the ground. So if Grove comes into this game with a predominantly run offense, I think they could run into some trouble. Now, the passing game, passing as a concept is a little more apt to big plays, I think, in a lot of ways right now in this, football environment, Mike. That has been, we've seen once or twice, where maybe some of the bigger, those 5-8s we played at the start of the year, we're able to get some chunk yardage on some pass plays against the Tuttle secondary. Not a lot, but they had a few. So I wonder if Grove is going to go more in the pass direction here, lead more into the air game than anything else. Your thoughts on
Yeah.
that?
I'm with you. I think that's probably the best shot they're going to have. That's the kind of the one weakness they'll have. Tuttle doesn't have a lot of weakness, but the one thing they're not super strong on is their passing defense. So I'm sitting here looking at the schedule for Grove. It's looking like Grove is and Tuttle are mirror images of each other. I mean, these scores are just identical. 48 nothing, 41-7, 48 nothing, 50-20, 84 to
Right.
17, 57, Salasol, they only got 35 on Salasol last week in the first round. But, and the one loss was to Cushing.
Yep, and Cushing is on the other side of the bracket right now making their own run. They're going to go a couple rounds deep here.
Yeah, and see, they only scored 35 points against Cushing. Cushing put 52 on them. So, yeah, oh boy. I think this could end up being like that Fort Gibson game was 29-28.
Hmm.
And so, boy, this is gonna be fun.
I still don't think it's going to be that close, but you did kind of hit the nail on the head right there. These two teams identical in a lot of ways. It's depressing because Grove doesn't upload their stats, so we don't
Yeah.
have the exact numbers for their offense right now.
Yeah.
but know that they are going to bring in a strong offense. Their one loss has been on the road, of course, and they're on the road tonight here in Tuttle, Oklahoma.
Yeah.
It's the playoffs, man. Anything can happen. We know that for sure. Now you're in the quarterfinals, right? It means just a little bit more with each round you go through. Tuttle is championship or bust, and I'd say at this point it's likely the same thing for the Grove Ridge Runners. All right, well, Grove, by the way, ranked number 25 in Oklahoma nationally. I believe Tuttle is still ranked number 4 nationally, and that's across all classifications, if I'm not mistaken. So these
Ouch.
these are two highly rated teams right now. We're gonna have a fun one tonight. Absolutely. Kickoff at 7 p.m. for those wondering. Well, let's take another quick look around the different brackets that we have here, and I'll bring those up. Our Bethany Broncos were knocked out of the race by Elgin, who has continued now their run through it. But we mentioned Cushing on the other side of the 4A bracket is going through their own run through the playoffs right now. I'm about to pull up who they're playing tonight. We're also going to take a quick look at 5A and 6A as well. So, all right, here we go here. The 4A bracket currently looks like this. Elgin and Ada meet tonight. It is in Elgin. Cushing is hosting Ardmore. Tuttle, of course, hosting Grove, and the final quarterfinals game is Broken Bow hosting Weatherford. Out of all these games, my eyes are going to be on Cushing Ardmore. I think
Yes.
that could turn into a very. Ardmore went further this year than I expected them to. They actually kind of put the hurt on all those district opponents and earned their playoff rights.
Yes, they did.
So who knows? Maybe the Ardmore Tigers can head to the semis. I don't know. I'm not saying it's impossible. Cushing won against Tilldale 63-34. Ardmore had a 28-21 win against Elk City. I will say, these two teams, we saw Ardmore before. They're that flex bone, right? They're much more pounded on the ground a little bit at a time. Not quite the explosive big play offense that some other teams like to run. So I would say Cushing does have the decided advantage at home for that quarterfinals match, but I would not be surprised if Ardmore makes it very difficult for that Cushing team.
Yep. I agree. I concur. It's kind of, ooh, man, this 4A division, the 4A class this year is just stacked. It's not been this strong in a long time.
We've
Because in
got
the
some
past,
good ones.
it was always just like Bethany and Tuttle were just blowing past people just to get to the final game because they were on opposite sides of the bracket, a few years ago. But
Right.
I think, like everything else, I think COVID changed the world.
He did. That's undeniable.
Because these kids were all in seventh and eighth grade, or some of them were in sixth and fifth grade, the freshmen, and now they're all, high school kids, and these schools are just stacked.
And actually, it's funny you should mention how much the sports world has changed because I've got some news on that from the college scene that we'll talk about later.
Mhm.
Looking
Okay.
at 5A right now, Carl Albert hosts McAllister at home. Pryor hosts Newcastle. MacArthur has Dell City, and Claremore hosts Bishop McGuinness. That's your 5A bracket right there.
Mm.
We are going to be keeping an eye on I believe, the Carl Albert game tonight on the Gospel Station Sports and Spirit. So if you're looking for the Titans action, that's where you need to go. And finally, let's mention 6A1 because UConn and Mustang have their next games tonight. Mike, UConn drew Owasso in the quarterfinals, while Mustang is
Ooh.
playing Broken Arrow.
Well,
Have fun.
oh my goodness. Ouch, 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 ouch. Well, hey, you got the two most powerful teams from the OKC suburbs versus the two most powerful teams from the Tulsa suburbs. Hey, that's what they wanted.
Pretty much, pretty much. Bixby hosts Union. Jenks hosts Edmond Memorial. That's quarterfinals in Class 6A1. We're actually running out of time here, Mike, so I think we're going to send it to break.
Okay.
When we come back, we'll talk maybe a little bit more about some of these high school matchups, but we kind of want to transition into some other sports too before we hit the halfway point. So we're at Ferguson Roof Systems here in Tuttle, 1 Whispering Pines Drive. Again, call 405-392-3699 to get in touch with Ferguson Roof Systems. Great people here, award-winning local business. They're also tagged in our Facebook Live video, so you can navigate on over to them there. Thanks so much to Ferguson Roof Systems for letting us come and do this game day show. We got to send it a break. When we come back, our next 15-minute segment.
Farm Credit Western, Oklahoma, 4955 Farm Credit Drive in Tuttle, specializes in loans to farmers, ranchers, and farmland-related agricultural. Farm Credit Western, Oklahoma, is a cooperative institution offering rural home loans, offering loans on cattle, equipment, machinery, and financing on crops. Long-term fixed interest rates giving money back to their borrowers. For all your farm and ranch-related needs, impute in crops and call the people on your side. Farm Credit Western, Oklahoma, at 405-381-3000.
Stop by Salty Frog Snow Cones out at 5 South Sarah Road in Tuttle and get a taste of the best snow cones in the area. They've got a large menu and an outdoor dining area, so call 405-474-2727 and get yours today. They're open 7 a.m. to 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 12 p.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. They also accept cash, card, and all forms of contactless payment. So stop by Salty Frog Snow Cones, 5 South Sarah Road.
The Tuttle Tag Agency at 303 West Main in Tuttle is a proud supporter of Tiger Sports. Friendly service, knowledgeable, and helpful. Conveniently located in downtown Tuttle. The Tuttle Tag Agency is your nearest office for the DMV practice test. The Tuttle Tag Agency open Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. Call 405-381-2413. The Tuttle Tag Agency located at 303 West Main.
Retro Rebel Boutique and Events is the premier name in women's clothing. You are sure to find something you'll love in their wide selection of women's, children's, and baby clothes while browsing the store located at 1010 Garth Brooks Boulevard in Yukon, Suite 110. Go to their website, weareretrorebel.square.site, or call them at 405-492-1727. And with their ad in America's Neighborhood Values, you can find a coupon for 20% off any item. Retro Rebel Boutique and Events in Yukon, 1010 Garth Brooks Boulevard.
Ship it sooner at 210 North Mustang Mall Terrace is your packaging and shipping headquarters for Mustang and the surrounding area, using all major carriers. Sign up now for your private mailbox and enjoy the benefits a post office box does not offer. Faxing, printing, copies, notary service, and passport photos. Ship It Sooner is locally owned and operated. Call 405-256-6264 or go to shipitsooner.com.
Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle here. For years, I've been recommending Ferguson Roof Systems to homeowners across Oklahoma. So when Mother Nature struck my house, it was an easy call to make. There's no one I would trust more than Ferguson Roof Systems for my home's roof. Since 1977, Ferguson has led the industry with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and lifetime warranties. Plus, they'll even deal with the insurance companies so you don't have to. So when Mother Nature strikes, make your first call to Ferguson Roof Systems.
Okay, that brings us right back out of break, folks. Here for segment number 2 of the Friday Night Football Game Day Show on the Gospel Station, Sports and Talk. Luke Young, Mike Ganton, chatting it up about all the recent in sports news. We're at Ferguson Roof Systems, 1 Whispering Pines Drive here in Tuttle. You actually just heard their commercial, had a little bit of a 30-second spot right there on them. You heard some of the information, A+ rating, Better Business Bureau, lifetime warranties. They have all these different services and methods to make sure you're taken care of. That's the kind of guarantee you get when you're working with a local award-winning business like Ferguson Roof Systems. They came in here today from all being out on jobs to let us come in and do this show, and we are super appreciative to them for that because we're having a great one again. You can see a little bit of the lobby area here behind me. I think on this wall you can see some of the roofing products. I'm seeing black oak on this top shelf here, so you can kind of get a look at some of what they do here, some of the premium roofing products they have on display. Great reason to stop by. Again, 1 Whispering Pines Drive is the address. If you're coming down for the Tuttle game, make sure you stop by. It'll be on your way. But now we're in segment number 2. Mike, we actually got some more high school news before we move on and talk about anything else. It popped up on my feed earlier today that Bethany High School is doing a baseball camp on November 24th and 25th. And obviously, as a baseball player myself, or at least used to be one, that's real high on my list. I think everybody should go to a camp or two in their life. I actually hosted a camp back in the summer, Mike. So if you can stop by, get a kid in one of these baseball camps, you probably should, in my opinion.
Absolutely. So you said you had a great time down there this summer when you worked at the camp.
I did. It really was fun. This baseball camp from the Bethany Broncos, again, the 24th and 25th. The camps are limited to 20 participants, so you do have to go ahead and get registered early. But it should be a lot of fun. 3rd grade to 8th grade. And it looks like they're at the indoor facility at the Bethany Athletic Complex. So, holiday baseball camp. Make sure you get a kid enrolled and get them learning, in my opinion, the best sport in the world. But that's just my opinion, right?
Yeah, that's just your opinion.
Okay, well, what do you think the best sport in the world is then, Mike?
No. It's it's a tie between baseball and football.
It's a tie.
It's
Cop
a tie.
out. What a cop out.
Well, each have their strengths, each have their weaknesses, and actually, baseball has moved up to the tie with the changes they've made since COVID, with the pitch clock and all that. We've had this conversation before.
Well, yeah.
The one thing that aggravated me as a kid and I got out of baseball was in the 70s when it's a national game. It was on ABC. Instead of Monday Night Football, they would do Monday Night Baseball in the summer. And you were sitting there watching this game, and the pitcher is sitting there throwing it to first base, trying to pick up the runner, and it would go 10 minutes. I mean, he wouldn't throw the home plate. He kept throwing it to first for 10 minutes. And I was like, I'm 10 years old, 12 years old. I'm going, okay, this is boring. Bye.
This
You
man,
know,
he was trying to keep him close, okay? He was trying
and
to get in his
for
head
10
for
minutes.
10
I mean,
minutes.
it violates the spirit of the game, and thank goodness they finally, addressed that. Now, that style of ball went out of favor in the 80s and 90s, but it started to kind of creep back a bit, and the commissioner basically stepped in and said, "Nope, you only get so many bites at the apple per runner. That's it.
Yeah, that probably was a good
And we
change,
got
the pickoff rule.
got to move on."
I do like the rule personally because you still can pick off to first
Yes,
or
you can.
second, but it comes with greater risk. And I actually think that's pretty fun because for me, it's all about strategy. If it removes strategy, I don't like it.
You know,
But that one thankfully kept the strategy around. All right, but let's talk about some college news, Mike, because we've got some OU sports we got to talk about. I got to talk about some Southwestern Christian stuff, what we were doing yesterday. Let's actually start with SCU. So, again, back in Bethany, Oklahoma, it was Southwestern Christian University versus Mid-America Christian University in both women's and men's basketball. Second game of the conference part of the season for the Eagles. First game for the Evangels. Mike, the women's unfortunately lost that game to the Evangels, but the men came back and won the rivalry, and we've actually got the last about 30 seconds from that game queued up on your computer. So if you want to play that real quick, and by the way, you can enlarge the video and watch it yourself if you want.
I watched it last night, man. It's great. You ready? Here we go.
Go for it.
The second free throw attempt from Jacoby Williams. Shots up. It's good. The Evangels have a way. Can Mid-America find the shot? 20 seconds on the clock. 11 on 11. A couple switches. Defensive laps. It's a 10 from Morris Williams. Unfriendly bounce. SU has the rebound. There's the foul. The clock stops. 13 seconds. Jordan Willard will head to the line to shoot two and potentially ice this game for the Eagles. What a game we have here in Bethany, Oklahoma. What a game. Willard, 14 points on the night, tied for team lead. Misses the first. He'll have one more. His second attempt. Misses the second. The clock is back to running. The Evangels have to work quick. Todd trying to slow. He got the steal. Todd got the steal. He broke away. The Evangels back in it. They launch one. No good. Eagles win it. Eagles win it. 75-72 your final.
Yeah, it was something.
I can't help but laugh every time I hear that now. Oh, man, the missed free throws. Man, the missed free throws. You had to have been there. They left so much on the board.
Yeah, yeah, and then the fact he did a textbook SGA, OKC Thunder, OU back in the '80s steal. I mean, just picked his pocket. You know, the SCU. Who was it? The SCU player that scored the final shot. Who was it?
Wait, say that again. The player.
Yeah, yeah.
His name was Aiden Todd.
Aiden Todd. Aiden Todd just picked his pocket, and was by him, and just like boom, gone.
Yeah,
You know, and laid it up with like 2 seconds, 3 seconds left to spare. So
pretty much. I actually caught him for an interview after the game, and we can play that too. But yeah, he said he had been doing the same move over and over, so he was ready for it. Mike, you want to play that interview? It should be queued up next.
Yeah, here's Aiden.
Sick.
All right, listeners, we are back at Pickens Springer Gymnasium. I'm here with Aiden Todd. We just wrapped up our 75-72 victory over Mid-America Christian University. Aiden, first off, thank you for coming up here. How are you feeling right now?
Man, tired. It was a big game, long game.
It was a big game, that is for sure. A huge rivalry. What does it mean to you to get to play in this Eagles-Evangels rivalry?
Oh, I love it. I live for it. We've been needing like a good war, you know, like just a good long game like that. So it was fun.
Hey, you just put it perfectly. It was a war. What does it mean to this group of guys to go in war like that and come out on the other side victorious?
Well, we just lost our last 2 games bad, so we were really trying to all fight and do whatever we needed to do to get the win. So I'm glad we got it.
Hey, technical fouls. There was stuff happening on both ends of the floors. The coaches were getting into it. How'd y'all stay locked in through that?
We just had to come together and just keep our heads and stuff. We knew they were calling everything. There was like 40 fouls called, so just try to play your hardest without fouling and just get the win.
Absolutely. All right, last question I'm going to ask you. You had this game-sealing steal right across half court. How'd you do it?
He kept doing the same move, and I was like, if he crosses it right here, I'm going to tip it and go win the game. And he crossed it. I tipped it and got a layup, so it worked out perfect.
Absolutely, brother. Thank you again for doing this. Have a great rest of your night. Enjoy that win. You deserve it.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Todd, following the conclusion of SCU Mid-America Christian University, 75-72 win for the Eagles, knocking off the undefeated Evangels. We'll see you on the next one. This is Luke Young signing off.
Yeah, that was a fun one. He put it perfect. He just had the chance to go win the game, and that's what he did. I love it. I love it. All right, all right. Hey, now I'm back in the mood for more basketball, I guess.
Yeah.
We're coming up on the end of our second segment. With December right around the corner, all the high school basketball teams will get started. Tuttle starts on December 2nd for the Tuttle Tigers basketball at home versus Ada. That's their season opener before going on the road to take on Chickasha High School on the 6th. There's 3 games actually before their first tournament. It's Ada, Chickasha, and Blanchard back at home. And then the Tuttle Tigers will head out, at least the men's team, to the Hera tournament from the 11th through the 13th. So basketball is right around the corner, folks. And if they're anything like Tuttle football, we could expect a very good season from Tuttle basketball here very shortly. But I think that's about all the time we have on segment number 2. Reminder, we are at Ferguson Roof Systems for our game day show tonight, getting ready for high school football quarterfinals in Class 4A, Tuttle versus Grove. We're going to send it back to a break here. Mike, anything you wanted to add before we go to break?
No, just once again, that it's available at what? Sooner Athletic Conference site, right? They have the games available on demand, right?
Yes, on the college level, yes.
Yeah. So the Student Athletic Conference (SAC), look that up, and the game is there. I said that steal he did at the end was just unreal.
It was perfect.
It's perfect.
No other way to describe it. Well, we got to go to break again. About halfway done with our show. More when we come back after this.
Safety for your finances is a necessity. Thieves work around the clock to try to get into your personal banking accounts. Here at the First National Bank and Trust Company, we offer Secure Lock. It is a mobile app that allows you to control how, when, and where your debit cards are used. Stay in control and stay secure. Download the app today. Experience peace of mind with Secure Lock from your First National Bank. Member FDIC. Go Tigers!
Step out of the big box stores and step into being a valued customer. Shopping local at Simar Sales and Service, your local lawnmower Repair Service, located at 2623 OK 37 in Tuttle. A Cub Cadet dealer with a bold design and quality cut. You'll see why they're a cut above the rest, featuring DeWalt, Cub mowers, trailers, and small engine repair. Simmer Sales and Service, where value is still invested in the customer. Call 405-266-2663. Go Tiger! Olivia's Coffee Company in Tuttle serves specialty coffee, energy drinks, flavored lemonade, dirty sodas, and much, much more. Open 7 to 12 Monday through Friday, located in front of A&B Roll-Off, and can be hired for events right out of their handcrafted beverage trailer. And don't forget Olivia's Burgers in the afternoon in front of A&B Roll-Off, of course, locally owned and operated in Tuttle, Olivia's Coffee Company.
M&T Septic and Backhoe is your call for septic installation, pumping, and repair needs. M&T Septic and Backhoe has been installing septic systems for over 25 years. From home builders to homeowners, from old-fashioned septics to aerobic systems and lift stations, give M&T Septic and Backhoe a call at 405-387-9353. A call for all your septic systems, storm shelter, utility needs, offering free estimates and willing to work with you on all projects. Call 405-387-9353. M&T Septic and Backhoe.
C&J Sporting Goods at 6604 Northwest 38th Street has been serving Bethany and the Metro for over 30 years, with 3 generations ready to serve you with the best shopping experience of product knowledge and customer service anywhere, with a wide selection of guns, ammo, ear and eye protection, law enforcement equipment, hunting, camping, and survival gear. If they don't have it, they will order it for you. Veteran owned and family operated. Call 405-789-8102. C&J Sporting Goods.
Do it best at Evans Hardware. Since 1965, Evans Hardware has provided Midwest City with top-quality home improvement supplies and a one-of-a-kind shopping experience. At 1021 South Douglas Boulevard, Evans Hardware is family-owned and has the right products for every situation, including DIY projects, professional contracting, or quick fixes. Their satisfaction guarantee and quick turnarounds mean you'll always find what you need. So visit Evans Hardware in Midwest City.
Or call 405-732-1898. That's 405-732-1898.
Evans Hardware in Midwest City. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that'll bring us right back out of break here on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. More than halfway done with our show here, but we still got 2 segments left for you. Getting ready for Tuttle versus Grove tonight. Cruz Campbell and the Tuttle Tigers taking the field back in Richardson Family Stadium for the quarterfinals match en route to what we hope is the Tuttle Tigers state championship. We're at Ferguson Roof Systems for this game day show, 1 Whispering Pines Drive here in Tuttle. 405-392-3699. Of course, big thank you to Mr. Jamie Ferguson and everybody that has helped us get ready for this here. And they are tagged in our Facebook Live video. So if you want to see a little bit of the business, a little bit of the people and what they do, you can navigate on over to their social medias right through our Facebook Live, Gospel Station Sports and Talk there as well. All right, Mike, well, we're going to move on to talking a little bit more college and then into pro sports here. And a big thing that has popped up recently is all the changes Oklahoma is making to their stadiums. Football is now getting a big upgrade that was announced, I believe, just a little bit earlier today. At like 10 a.m. in the morning, they finally announced that. Let's see, I've got the quote from Brent Venables here. It's difficult to adequately express how excited our football program is for the Gaylord Family Oklahoma Memorial Stadium West Side project, and I'm sure Sooner Nation is equally ecstatic. We are already blessed with one of the greatest venues in the sport, but this game-changing transformation will give new meaning to the Palace on the Prairie. The renderings are stunning, and once completed, this project will positively impact everyone who steps foot in the stadium. A huge thank you to all who have supported or will support this project financially or otherwise. Our football program is incredibly appreciative. So a whole new renovation on the west side of the stadium is what it sounds like from his quote right there. And again, this is sort of now happening on multiple different teams around the college. Oklahoma improving, and I think as well that Oklahoma is also gearing up for an educational turnaround at a lot of levels across the state, Mike.
Yes, absolutely. I said that has it been 25, 30 years since they kind of upgraded the maybe longer than that, since they upgraded the press box. And you can go online and see Toby Rowlands and them calling it because they got a camera trained on them, when they're calling the game. So like you're doing right now with this Facebook Live stuff. So, you can see the press box and it's a little cramped, a little crowded in there. It's not like some of the other places where there's a little, there's a little more room and a little more spread out. So this is a major upgrade for them.
It is, and I believe baseball is getting a little bit of a bump as well. They're getting
Oh,
some
no,
new stuff.
the baseball, what they did for was it Love Field for the OU softball team?
Mhm.
They're basically going to do that for the baseball team too. They're getting a massive upgrade too.
Yeah, and I'm super excited for that. Obviously, both teams hoping to be playoff teams. Baseball did make it this year, and OU is right there on the cusp. Got a couple of games pending. Of course, we've got Missouri coming up very, very shortly. Mike, coming off these 2 wins against ranked opponents, what are we thinking about Oklahoma's chances against Missouri? We are the favorites for this one, of course.
We're the favorites. It's an 11 o'clock kick. It's an early kick. Uh-huh. We should handle our business, and we need to handle our business.
Yeah.
They absolutely need to have because the committee is looking for any reason to throw OU out and probably pull Miami in if they went out. So, we've got to, we control our own destiny, but we lose one of these next 2 and they're going to throw us out. Off we go to the Alamo Bowl.
I could not have put that any better myself. There are a slew of like 8-2, 7-3 teams, kind of at the lower half of the rankings, but still with the chance to make it. I'd say Oklahoma versus Missouri, this should be an OU win. Obviously. We've got the team to do it, especially coming off of 2 great wins versus Tennessee and Alabama. I mean, how do you win those games and not be feeling great going into this one?
Yeah, but you still got to take care of business.
You do. You're right there.
We're not there yet. You're not there yet, and really, you have to finish 10th because like 11 and 12 are kind of like automatic bids, similar to what the NCAA schools, do. NCAA basketball tournament does, where it's really 1 through 12 is the conference champs and the at-large bids because 13, 14, 15, 16 in every bracket are the automatic bids from the mid-majors. So 11 and 12 is it's a group of 5, and it's the Power 4, the group of 5. And I think maybe the ACC or the Big 12 is kind of considered a number 11 slot.
I saw the ranking projection not too long ago, but it's kind of slipped my mind who was projected to make it at this point in the season.
I was seeing University of South Florida.
Maybe that was right. Well, I mean, if you get on the apnews.com site, they talk a little bit about some of these matchups like Oregon, USC, Oklahoma, Missouri. Obviously, that Oregon game, they're 9-1. USC is 8-2. If either team loses, it's a pretty, in their own words, a real blow to the CFP hopes. But for USC, it would probably eliminate all chances. And OU is kind of in the same way. Now, they do note that the Sooners have obviously already won 4 games against top 25 opponents. And Missouri hasn't won a game yet against a team with a winning record.
Yeah.
So, again, just another reason I think the Sooners had the near overwhelming advantage here. But it is late enough in the season that, anything can happen. Well, the Crimson Tide are now ranked number 10 after losing to Oklahoma. So they're kind of finding themselves in a similar, spot, honestly, where Alabama is kind of now they're on the fringe. Now they have to win out. If they lose, it's over for Alabama.
Okay, so I found the bracket from that went up on possible, I guess it was Tuesday night, Wednesday morning, whenever they announced it. They've got Miami at 11 and Tulane at 12.
Tulane. Gotcha.
Tulane from the group of 5. Yeah. OU loses, and they would love that Miami would let Miami move up.
That's probably pretty true. I mean, You don't have to scroll far on your social media. You don't have to look far in all your news sites now to see people voicing their displeasure with some of the AP, the AP committee members. I'll just leave it at that. So you really do not want to play around with this kind of thing at this point in the season because they do still decide who makes it to the playoffs. So
Yeah,
go ahead.
And it doesn't help that that former ESPN employees got their own operation down in Miami, and they just signed a contract to go with NBC Sports and get their stuff simulcast there, which starts in a few weeks. So they've been making all sorts of noise down there about how they're getting job because Notre Dame is Notre Dame.
Because Notre Dame is Notre Dame. You're more up to date than that on me, to be honest.
Yeah, like I said, well, that's it's one of the advantages. I do pay for a SiriusXM subscription, so I get the benefit of having it's a trip, man. There was 15 years ago, there were all these young up and comers out there in Hartford, Connecticut, and they were all there, and they all, as things changed and Disney did this and crazy people did that in the building, and some people didn't know what they were doing. I know they ran off all these people, all this young talent they were gearing to hand over the operation to are now in other places, and they're all head to head on the SiriusXM radio at the same time between 10 and 1 in the afternoon. They're all right there, and they're all up against each other. And I just sit there, and it shocks me. I can't believe, radio stations used to be notorious for that. The midday guy, the morning drive was always the big dog. The midday guy, the afternoon guy, and the evening guy were sort of the young guns, and they were being groomed. And then things happened, and they got moved on. And then everybody looks up, 10 years later, and they look around, and it's like the afternoon guys, the morning guys are still there. The midday guy is the morning guy at station 2. The afternoon guy is the morning guy at station 3, and the evening person is the morning guy at station 4, which is basically what has happened on the SiriusXM side. So beginning out where I said this is Tulane is the only let's see, where's Texas Tech? They got Texas Tech at 5th, so they're banking on Texas Tech to come out of the Big 12.
Tech is a good choice for that, to be honest with you. I know
they're expecting them to win.
I know OU, Tech, A&M, they all have players offensively in the top 10 for passing yards and rushing yards. Actually, I don't think OU has rushing yards yet, but we do have passing yards and receiving yards, I think, was another one.
Yeah, we have passing yards, we have receiving yards, we have special teams, we have, of course, and then we have defense. We dominate.
Yeah, obviously, defense, yeah. And by the way, did we play that? How long did we play Alabama without R. Mason Thomas? Was that the whole game? Was he out for the whole thing?
I think so.
I'm getting a nod from the side over here. I think he was.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, that cannot be a good sign for Missouri if we just got a huge upset win against the Crimson Tide without our star linebacker. So there's another thing even to note, and another reason I think OU wins this game against Missouri.
Yeah, you're right. I remember that. That was something that was mentioned. Everybody was just so shocked that they won that a couple of the shows kind of did that as an afterthought. That yes, that we were down one of our key players, and we still won that game.
Yeah,
and we won it with defense.
Yeah, that's the OU team we've got. Now, honestly, I'm here for it. But we got to send it back to break here. We're about 3/4 done with our show. We're at Ferguson Roof Systems in Tuttle, 1 Whispering Pines Drive. Speaking about those shirts I mentioned earlier, here's a look at what they look like. They've got the Tuttle Tigers logo on the front. It looks really good. It's clean, gray, and red. They've got Ferguson Roof Systems information on the back. Gets you the phone number, a way to contact them. You can see the logo there in that Tuttle Tigers red as well. So stop by. You can maybe get one of these shirts. I can't read the info sign from over here, but I might look at that later. But thanks to Ferguson Roof Systems for letting us come and do this show. We got about 15 minutes left, and then I got to head over to Richardson Family Stadium and get ready for our game tonight. Tuttle versus Grove 4A quarterfinals, and we're expecting some fireworks, folks. One more break. When we come back, 15 more minutes in the final part of our Friday Night Football Game Day show on the Gospel Station, Sports and Talk.
Meteorologist Aaron Tuttle here. For years, I've been recommending Ferguson Roof Systems to homeowners across Oklahoma. So when Mother Nature struck my house, it was an easy call to make. There's no one I would trust more than Ferguson Roof Systems for my home's roof. Since 1977, Ferguson has led the industry with an A+ Better Business Bureau rating and lifetime warranties. Plus, they'll even deal with the insurance companies so you don't have to. So when Mother Nature strikes, make your first call to Ferguson Roof Systems.
The Napa Know-How is on Main in Tuttle at 203 West Main. Find your car parts and auto accessories. Napa Auto Parts is staffed with the know-how from batteries, car brakes, and all you need for your car. Napa offers same-day delivery and offers battery recycling. Napa Auto and Truck Parts. Call 405-381-6277. Napa in Tuttle.
Howdy, Oklahoma. It's your favorite naturalized Okie, Nigel Wadsworth Higginbotham III. Now, over the years since my trip across the pond, I've picked up many distinctly Oklahoman pastimes. Noodling at the lake, crushing kolaches at the Czech Festival in Yukon, tailgating in Norman and Stillwater, and treasure hunting. And by far, my favorite place to do this is a carefully curated menagerie of oddities and delights, Relic Revival, located in the heart of downtown Yukon at 320 Elm Avenue in the Old Mill Plaza. Here's Eric James Brown to tell you more. Thanks, Nigel. Hey, everyone. I'd like to personally invite you to come visit with me at Relic Revival, where you'll find some amazing treasures from decades past. Anything and everything from collectible toys, vintage action figures, mid-century modern furniture and knickknacks, original signs and advertising pieces, works of art, vintage posters and clothing, rare and unique antiques, and a whole lot more. I've handpicked every item in this store and weeded out all the everyday and mundane to offer you some of the finest goods to be had. Stop by and see for yourself. Relic Revival, 320 Elm Avenue in Yukon. We're open 10 to 6, Tuesday through Friday, and Saturday 10 to 3. Look for us on Facebook, Relic Revival OK.
Step out of the big box stores and step into being a valued customer. Shopping local at Simar Sales and Service, your local lawnmower repair service located at 2623 OK 37 in Tuttle. A Cub Cadet dealer with a bold design and quality cut. You'll see why they're a cut above the rest, featuring DeWalt, Cub mowers, trailers, and small engine repair. Simmer Sales and Service, where value is still invested in the customer. Call 405-266-2663. Go Tiger!
The Tuttle Tag Agency at 303 West Main in Tuttle is a proud supporter of Tiger Sports. Friendly service, knowledgeable, and helpful. Conveniently located in downtown Tuttle. The Tuttle Tag Agency is your nearest office for the DMV practice test. The Tuttle Tag Agency open Monday through Saturday at 8 a.m. Call 405-381-2413. The Tuttle Tag Agency located at 303 West Main.
Okay, folks, we are back here on the final segment of our Friday Night Football Game Day show, live from Ferguson Roof Systems. Our great host for tonight's show. Great building, great area, 1 West Spring Pines Drive. Easy to get to right off of the intersection out here, right off the lights. Anyone in the Tri-City area can kind of come by and talk to the friendly people here, of course. Ferguson Roof Systems, 405-392-3699. You've been able to see a little bit of the lobby area on our Facebook Live video. Of course, you can see some information in the back. You can see some of the tile types they use for the different roofing projects right to my right on the left side of your screen. And it's a great reason to come by here. A+ rating on the Better Business Bureau. I've mentioned the awards. I've mentioned the people. This is a great locally owned business and somewhere you want to stop by. They'll take care of you great. On our final segment, Mike, we're going to talk some pro sports here. I'm recording a show tomorrow, so I got to pick and choose what I'm going to talk about here and save some of it for tomorrow. But get this. Actually, this is a college basketball thing before we talk pros. Ranked men's college basketball teams are 85-0 versus unranked teams this season. That's the longest win streak by ranked teams against unranked teams at any point in a season in AP poll history. A perfect 85-0.
Wow.
We've still been getting some upsets. I mean, we've still been getting plenty of upsets in basketball right now.
Yeah, but back then, you would get door 24 would lose in an upset to, a a mid-major or a cupcake school that was brought in, and was supposed to be like a kind of a preseason game, and they would end up losing. But they're not losing this year. That's what is what's going on.
They are not. I know OU women's basketball is ranked very highly right now. They're like 4-1 to start the season, doing a great job. So college basketball is in the full swing, by the way, for those who have not been keeping up with it. And very, very quickly, we're going to start talking a lot about college basketball and all these games going on. And we could right now, but again, I'm kind of trying to pick and choose what I'm saving for our show tomorrow that we're recording. Instead, Mike, I'm going to bring you this news. The New York Liberty have agreed on a deal to hire Golden State Warriors assistant Chris DeMarco as their new head coach.
Whoa.
DeMarco had been with the Warriors since 2012. He won 4 NBA titles with them, and he has been serving as the head coach of the Bahamian men's national team. Bahamian. But now he's going to the New York Liberty now. How about this move? That was not on my radar.
Oh man, let's see, who's still with the Liberty? The nature of the league is that there's not a lot of room, so there's a lot of movement after every off season. So, who's their star players? Is it UNESCO? Sabrina UNESCO. Yeah, he's been brought in to help UNESCO. That's what he's doing. Inescu was the girl from UConn, and she was the 3-point darling before Caitlin Clark rolled onto the national stage. So, yeah, he's there to get her in shape because he needs to. That's why he's there.
Interesting. See, you've always known a little bit more about this than me.
Yeah. I said, when Ward got out, Caitlin Clark's into her beginning of her junior year, that people were saying, you need to watch this girl. I was watching, and I remember the UConn runs from back in the day, and that they were insane. And I knew back in the 90s, the state, the number one state in small school basketball actually was my neighbor.
No way.
I grew up with her. Yeah, she lived. She grew up half a mile away from where I lived, and my cousin played in the '80s, so and was varsity. So I've kind of always had one eye on the sport over the years. So, and this is good for the Liberty bringing him in. Yeah, yep. It's like Inescu's probably was sitting there saying, "We need to get real. We need if we're going to hang on to where we're at, because we've already won a title, we need somebody who knows how to play up-tempo, high-tempo, three-point shooting basketball, and he's the best choice."
So that's a good move for the Liberty. Then what does that mean for the Warriors? Because they're kind of having a weird year themselves.
Warriors are getting ready to go into rebuild. They're all old. They've already sent Clay. Clay's gone.
They're very old.
They're old. I mean, it's time. Kansas City's getting ready to run in that too. Mahomes is going to be the only guy left here from this first run here in about another 2 years. Travis is gone at the end of the year. He's going to go off and live his life with Taylor Swift, and some of the line, and they got to rebuild the line, and they got to do something about their but they just got they're just all beat up. The linemen beat up.
Yeah,
linemen beat up, and defense is, it's just time.
Yeah, and the Lakers are not competing with the Nuggets or the Thunder or the Rockets right now. Or, I mean, the Warriors are not competing with those three teams. They really don't stand a chance against them.
The Lakers with getting Luka. I don't know if you saw them the other night, but I mean, they're coming for the Thunder. The Thunder have forced them to make some adjustments, and they're with Luka and Austin Reeves. They're coming for the Thunder, and we're probably wanting to meet them in the Western Conference Final in May and June.
Yeah, but the Warriors kind of 9-8 right now, lost their last two, trending towards outside looking in. It seems like everybody has kind of seen the writing on the wall there, huh?
Yeah, the West is good. They've had a 12-year run.
They did. They had a
They,
very
they,
long run.
they were like us, 2 years ago, the young scrappy team that just popped up on them. I was going, oh man, you've seen what they're doing, and then they built and they had their run, and then they poached Kevin, and they kept going and kept going and kept going, and had the epic series with against LeBron. So hey, it's been a good run. They got an arena out of it,
They did.
but it's just about time.
It's about that time. All good things must come to an end at some point, as we know. All right, well, Mike, I think we're going to end it off there. We could talk NFL football and more, but again, I got to save some stuff for tomorrow. So let's circle this thing back one last time to high school football. Talk about the matchups we're covering tonight. Tuttle versus Grove on the Gospel Station Sports and Talk. Carl Albert versus McAllister on the Gospel Station Sports and Spirit. The Tigers and the Ridge Runners, and the Titans and the Buffaloes. If you're watching listening to the Tuttle Tigers game on the Sports and Talk side, keep an ear out for the Lane brothers tonight. Jalen and Jordan Lane. Those two wide receivers are two of the top three across all receiving statistics for this Tuttle team. The only other name up there is Donnie Schluter, who has had a great year himself. For only 22 receptions, he has 539 yards, 9 touchdowns. He's averaging about 50 per game. But the Lane brothers, man, Jordan has kind of popped off here in the past few weeks. 36 receptions, 680 almost yards. He's averaging over 60 yards per game and almost 19 yards per catch with 7 touchdowns on the year. Surpassed only in that metric by his brother, Jalen Lane, who has 11 touchdowns on the year. If they get going early and get going often, Grove doesn't stand a chance, frankly. If Cruz Campbell is hitting the Lane brothers very consistently and we see another 300-plus yard passing game from Campbell, Grove is not going to stand much of a chance tonight. And that's my final thoughts on it, I'd say. Mike, anything you want to add to that?
No, I agree with you. I think Tuttle's going to be challenged early in the game, and we'll just see what happens. I mean, will Tuttle be able to? I mean, will Grove be able to hang with Tuttle, or because they're like we said, they're mirror images of each other. So this one should be fun.
All right, folks. Well, that takes us right about to the end of our show. We've been live for an hour at Ferguson Roof Systems in Tuttle, Oklahoma, 1 Whispering Pines Drive. Call 405-392-3699. And one final time, they are tagged in our Facebook Live video, so you can go over to their profile there and check out what they got going on. Great people, award-winning. They've got Tuttle shirts here inside the lobby area, all locally owned and operated. Great supporters of the station and great supporters of Tuttle Tigers athletics. And before we go, a thank you to Simplify Tech Solutions at 4221 North MacArthur Boulevard back in War Acres. They help us out with the technological side. He's actually, Eric from Simplify is actually about to help us out again with one of the laptops we have in the studio. So thanks to Eric and Simplify. But all right, folks, we will see you out at Richardson Family Stadium, Tuttle versus Grove tonight. Class 4A quarterfinal matchup here in Tuttle, Oklahoma. Should be a good one no matter what the outcome is. If you're going to watch on the Sports and Spirit, tell me how that Carl Albert game goes. I'll probably be keeping up with the scores anyway, but you might let us know. All right, the sun has come out. It's very bright outside, peeking out behind the cloud cover, so we got to get out of here, Mike. One final time, a thank you to everybody watching, and a thank you to everybody at Ferguson Roof Systems. Till next time, remember to tune in at 7 p.m. for kickoff. I'll be live half an hour early for the pregame show, and then we'll be going from there. But this is Luke Young signing off. For now, have a great night, and if I don't see you again, tune in next week for our new slate of shows getting ready for Thanksgiving.